Hello, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. And am I on the wrong camera? Come on now. Oh, my camera's not responding. Boo. This thing is moving way too slow. Come on now. There we go. AJ, the CEO here, folks. What is going on? And I'm making sure I'm having a little bit of a snafu only because we got some new toys that we're going to be playing with. That videos are coming soon for that. And I'm trying to make sure my stuff is live. What is going on? Anyway, we got a new joystick, and maybe let's switch over to this camera. So we got a new joystick that I'm playing around with that Famako sent me. This one, you can't see it right now, but I'm playing around with it, so I pressed the wrong button. That's why the stuff didn't come over here. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. I've changed my layout, so I actually have a little bit more space than I did before. Which camera should I use so y'all can see? Let's switch over to this one. So I have lowered everything. So I have my screen here in front of me so I can actually see better. We got my little work area up here now. So a little bit better here so I can work through some stuff. So hopefully we can get that stuff done. I'm still trying to get my flow. I think I might put y'all's comments. No, I don't want to put that up there. Let's put YouTube up here so I can make sure all of that is fine. And then I'll put my comments over here. Alrighty, folks. So, hey, AJ here. Thank you so much for stopping by. We try and come here every Friday to try and answer y'all's questions. And I did not verify my sound. Give me 1 second. A little bit better. All right, so it sounds fine. Y'all would have told me that anyway, but thank y'all so much for stopping by. We try and do this every Friday to try and answer y'all's questions. I don't know everything about media ministry, but hopefully I can help steer you in a direction that can help you. Or, hey, it may have been something I actually do know, and I can make your journey a little bit easier when sharing a little bit of stuff that I do know to make your journey easier. If I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. We will get to you. Give us 48 to 72 hours to get a response back to you. And if you ever need some assistance, if you've been watching the videos when I'm going and traveling, that's because people have contacted me at ajhomes.com/consultations. We do phone, Google Meet or Google Duo, I don't know which one they've changed it to now. Also do Zoom consultations. We also do on-sites, and we do travel, folks. I am not afraid of planes. I'm not afraid to drive. If it's over 5 hours, I don't. We'll fly, but we'll get there to try and help you out as best as we possibly can. This Sunday, I know we missed it a couple of times, but we will have our Zoom roundtable. We've had a holiday and some other stuff that's kind of messed up. I got stuck in traffic. We will have one this Sunday. All the information is here. If you have not joined our Facebook group, it is like this 24/7 with media ministries all over the world. All you got to do is go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions. Don't you dare live stream inside the group. Don't cross promote. Don't put links in the chat that are affiliate links. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't exploit the group. I don't do that. Y'all don't do that. Okay. And all this other stuff. All are welcome. But you will get kicked out if you do some nonsense. We're not about that. Let's go ahead and holler at some folks here. Who we got up in here? Carriers of the Covenant. What is going on? Good morning, Francisco. With the little baby girl. Hello. Parker. What is going on? And I don't like looking this way to get my comments. Let me look over this way. Maybe this will be easier. One Eye CCTV. What's going on? Monty, the myth, the man, the legend. What's going on, sir? Fresh Start Church of Philadelphia. I'm going to be in your area tomorrow. I fly out. I'm flying into Philadelphia, but then I'm going to be in Bristol, Pennsylvania after that. Going up for the day, coming back the same day. Keith, what's going on? Love the name, The Bible Report. What is going on? Mike from Canada. Hey, what is going on? Video streams. Good morning. Trizzy Trey. great name. How you doing? Rhonda, what's going on? Bruce down in Texas, please don't tell me it's 117 down there. Keep yourself cool. Clint from Australia, what's going on? I need to get out to Australia. I had a chance of going to Australia when I was working at a software company, but they gave that trip to somebody else and they wanted me to stay in the rear to do support. Blah. But anyway, we're going to get over there. Darius, what's going on? G. Albert, hello, hello. Ms. Veronica, hello. How you doing? Dewey Williams, hello. How are you doing? All righty, folks. So I am here. I am ready for y'all's questions. I'm going to give y'all a little break in time right now because we have a lot of stuff that's going on. I am very thankful. Famako is sending me a 4K PTZ that should be here in about 3 days. We're going to be doing a review on that, the brand new joystick that controls NDI cameras as well as IP ones. That's what I'm using right now. We got that review that's going to be coming soon. I just dropped the video for the DeckLink Duo that I did for another church, and it was funny that they actually, I think I was telling y'all about that, UPS found the computer. So I have this computer. I'm probably going to keep this one, but I still have my Ryzen 7. I might use that. Never know what we're going to do with that. Probably that will still be my, well, no, this new Ryzen 9. What I'm probably going to do is switch this out. The Ryzen 9 is going to be a mirror of my current system. That's going to be my streaming system. I'm going to move the Ryzen 9 3900 to this system, and this will be my own cast server. That's what I'm working on. What else? We have 2 cameras coming in from AJaytheCEO, and AJaytheCEO, thank you so much. They have supported me for a long time. They're sending me, I believe, 2 cameras, another 4K PTZ as well, and one of them is going to be a part of a giveaway. They gave it to me for me to review as also as a thank you, as a celebration of our 60,000 subscribers as a giveaway. So again, they've supported me in a bunch of other giveaways, so thank you so much. And we got some other stuff that's kind of bound the pipe. Just before this, I just got a call that Mount Sinai, we did a review on site with them 2.5 years ago. They've moved forward with that. So I am going to be there doing an install with them, 3 cameras, a bunch of stuff. That's been a project for a long time. Also have a Shiloh Baptist Church that we're working on. So I am very, very thankful that we have about 7 other projects coming on, but I'm also going to start working more on doing the stuff, the bread and butter, what we did here. I have a series that I'm working on where I'm just going to show how to, you see the news, you see sports, you see this, the graphic overlays. I'm just going to do really quick tutorials on how to get that same look that you see on TV with your equipment. So be on the lookout for that. And hopefully that was enough stalling so that we can get some questions fired away. Oh, wait a minute. We got Maya Love here from Virginia, my best buddy. Maya, thank you for joining. She has a great Bible study I was able to sit in with. So proud of you, girl, and all that stuff that you're rocking. Let's see. Cletus from Grand Rising from Florida. Hello. That was from Jamaica. Awesome. Been down there. I need to get down there again for some vacation. All right, let's go ahead and fire away the first question I see here, but also say hello at the same time. Jody has a question. I bought a Dell laptop for use in the media ministry last year. It worked well with Worship Tools programs. Last month, they made the decision to move to ProPresenter. My problem is I do not seem to have a graphics card. Is there a way to add one on that will work and not much cost? We are a small church. Unfortunately, for a laptop, no. It is very, very, very expensive to add a graphics card to a laptop. You can do it. It is just not very economical. So, for example, if we cut over here and we're going over here to Newegg, I want to use an external external graphics cards for a laptop. Be in for sticker shock. So you have the case itself, and this is just one that I'm grabbing. As you can see, some of them that actually have a graphics card in there get expensive. So you need an external case that will connect to it. And I wish this one showed a rear image of it. Don't really have that many options, but hopefully this one has some more detail. So this is a Thunderbolt one. So like on the back, you can see it has, you would add a card inside of it and you would connect to it, but that's just the case. I think this one actually comes, Yeah, with a 3090 inside of it. So, yes, you could, but at this price, you can just get another laptop, to be quite honest. So, again, I'll show you. I'm not at the point of getting ready to do it yet. I don't need to, but the laptop I am looking at going to whenever I decide to go to one is going to be, um, I think it was this Asus. I think it was the one, but at least does have the specs of what I was looking at. This has a 3080, which is the same thing I have in this computer right now. The processor is the scaled down version of the same one I'm using in here. 40 gigs of RAM. I don't know why they do the weird numbers, but this is the one that I'm actually looking at. And you got to see, this system will blow that out of the water if you really wanted to go with a laptop. But as I say, this is about like $200 more than just that external. And even if you went with that external, is the processor and the computer fast enough to handle the data stream that's going to come over the USB Thunderbolt or whatever connection it is? So, long drawn out answer, but no, there isn't. Yes, there is a way that can be added to it, but honestly, the cost of it, you might as well just buy another laptop for that. So I'm gonna put a link to the laptop that I was gonna use that I am looking at getting. Maybe that would help. Or you can scale something down. You don't need to have that high end of a one, but I would personally go with a Intel i7 or a Ryzen 7. If you're looking for a dedicated laptop, me personally, I don't like laptops for a church. That's just me. But I understand from an economical standpoint, personally, building a computer would be cheaper than that, and you would have room to grow with it as well too. But this is I'm gonna put this in the description so you can see it here. And there you go. Let's fire off to our next one. Fresh Start Church of Philadelphia was saying, I'm downloading your OBS package, but I can't get my lower thirds to work. All right, are you on Windows or are you on Mac? Let me know, and I will walk through that as well, too, because I have it on the system as well. And let me disconnect this camera, and I can actually use my other camera here and set it up better. It's wild. I got all this space here, and then we're running out of space, which is a good problem to have. The next thing is to actually have a basement, an unfinished basement, and I can really wire and set up everything the way I want to. And I think that'll be cool. And have more space and everything like that as well too. And there's the camera being added. All right. Bruce was saying, excuse me. Currently 78 degrees, like 102, down from 116 earlier in the week. Yeah, I heard. Wow. Mr. Clarence, what is going on? Philip Paul, hello. From Malaysia, hello. The Bible report again, yeah. Hello, I need to ask you a question. Do you know what is going on with the moving transition? I updated OBS and none of the programs work. I downgraded and still nothing. The moving transition. I'm not understanding exactly what that is. If you give me some more detail, I'll see what we can do to help you out with that. Wow, YouTube has changed something else. You can't see it on the side. It's saying ads will run shortly for some viewers. It says an ad is going to kick off for y'all in about 40 seconds. Interesting. That is not in my control. That's something new here. So let me see. It's a Streets of Destiny from Phoenix, Arizona, or what's going on. Back to the Bible report. I'm on OBS 27.0.0 and had 29.00 and downgraded back to 27, and it is not working. Nothing is showing up. Nothing is getting installed. What can I do? I'm on Windows 11. You're going to have to completely do a complete uninstall with that. That's the best way I would say. Go ahead and uninstall the software, and then you're going to come over here to, let's open up my drives here so y'all can see them. Come on now. So we need to come in here, or you can just do the Windows key and the letter R, and you can do percent app data percent, and you can come in here and look for OBS in here. If it's not, because I don't know what other programs may have been installed, if it's not there, just go to your program files or wherever OBS is installed. After you uninstall it, come in here. As you can see, there was 2 versions. This was 27. I don't know why they did it as a separate one. And then the newer one, you need to delete all of that. Get rid of all of it and then reinstall it. You want to get rid of all the remnants of everything and do that, install it, and see what you got on there. And then we can go from there to try and get you back up to speed, all right? Now, where are my comments at? Anthony, what's going on, man? I jumped on your podcast. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. RC. I want to use the USB-C on the A10 Mini Pro to output to our side screens. What's the best way to do that? Preferably without adding another computer. Is there a way to convert that video? There was something that was made to do that. I think somebody in a Facebook group talked about that. Let me see. There was a USB-C to HDMI adapter. And there's a forum here on the Blackmagic site where they're talking about this. That anyone has successful bringing the video from a computer into the A10. Not that one. I need it in reverse. Yeah, this is the video that I saw, but this guy was selling this for like $400. And I'm just like, no. This little device right here, no. If anybody knows the one, I think it was somebody in the Facebook group that was talking about it. I just don't know it off the top of my head. Yeah, it was this one.
This is anti-mean.
And I need to mute that so that I don't get hit for nothing. But let me see. They don't have a link to where it was. Yeah, but it'll go USB out, it goes into this, and then it converts it. Yeah, I don't know. That's the one I saw, but I have personally have not tested it, so I don't know 100%. But if I can do some research and find out, I will let you know. I don't know, but I'm going to turn it over to the community. If any of y'all are using something, I know the link, please share it. I know RC will greatly appreciate it. Do we hear? We have an A10 Mini Pro that we used at church for live streaming. However, about a week ago, there is a buzz coming from it. It's no longer showing the menu on the screen. The only button that lights up is the on button in the top left-hand side. That sounds like it's in a factory reset mode. That's what it sounds like. Can it be fixed, or you need to get another one? I would honestly, the video I did, I don't recall it off. I think it's like you turn it off, hold down the mic 1 button, I believe, power it on again, and it should go into factory reset mode, and then connect it to your computer over USB, open up the ATEM setup software, and it should try and push the latest firmware of whatever software that you have, and that does a factory reset. I would try that. If that does not work, or you connect it and you don't hear the plunk or whatever that the computer or Mac is picking up that device connected, it may be dead. I would personally try and do a factory reset first to see if that solves it. Mike, are you aware of any good deals on Prime Day coming up? Honestly, I have not looked. I just been running around. I think yesterday I was down in North Carolina and I got back, and then Richmond, we hosted at Signs and Wonders a Richmond Public Safety forum with the deputy chief of Chesterfield. no, the deputy chief of Richmond, then the lieutenant colonel of Chesterfield, the attorney general, and I think a lawyer, or I forgot his title. So my apologies on that. We hosted that at the church. And then I got a chance to meet Clovia Lawrence. If y'all don't know about her in Virginia, I'm sure you've heard her name if you watch any type of TV or heard on the radio. So that was really cool. But no, I haven't had a chance to look. But I don't know if you saw when I went to here, my shopping cart, as you can see, I have a bunch of products that I'm getting ready to order for a client as well, too. So I need to see what deals they got going on right now. Darren, what is going on? Is that a TV or a large monitor? That is a 40-inch TV, 40-inch 4K TV that I got from Target that's on the wall for my editing. So like, for example, let me see if I can cut over so I can show you why I use this. So let me cut over to my back camera here. So when I'm editing and doing my videos and stuff like that, let me turn on picture in picture here for a second. So when I'm doing my editing, so the last video, like I'll show, and why is this locking up on me? So normally when I'm editing and stuff like that, and it looks from that camera, it looks like this is lopsided, but I think that camera is not level because everything is tilted that way. But anyway, when I'm doing my editing and I'm doing my videos and stuff like that, this is what I see. This is the final result of when I'm working on this. So when I'm normally doing, so if I jump back here, and this, y'all haven't seen this video because I haven't done it. This is my timeline. These are my media assets, and this is the final result of what I'm doing. So I can go through here and I'm seeing the final result, the color grading, all this other stuff. That's how I typically use this stuff. And I was using this, but it was this monitor over here, which was a pain to have to keep doing. So it was that one that I used, but it just didn't help. And honestly, I wish I could lower this a little bit more, but the problem is my camera, I don't know if you see, my camera gets in the way. So this is always here. So that's why I had to, this is as low as I was able to put it. So that is how I use, when I'm editing all my videos, this is exactly how I use it. So there's a little background on my setup and the methodology of why I have all the stuff the way I have it set up. Yeah, it does that. They did an update to where I can turn on advertisements, but since a recent update, it pushes ads. Like, again, when thankfully, I haven't had a lot of people ask this, but they'll say, why do you put so many ads on your videos? I don't. I let YouTube pick how many that they put in the placement of it. Anthony, hey, you are welcome. Trizzy Trey. I have been wanting to send audio from my church's X32 to a DAW and then out to Streamlabs OBS on the same computer. Any help would be great. We only have one X32, and honestly, I have not used that. Otis, he isn't on here yet. He's from Texas. He normally chimes in here maybe in the next 15 minutes. He does do that setup. If you're a part of the Facebook group, again, this is where I would ask that question because there's tons of people who have that set up. I don't have the setup to do that because I don't have enough people to do it, and I don't know that personally. That's something I want to get into, but currently, no, I don't. So this is one of those things that I would ask you to lean on the community that we've put together to help you with that question. Unfortunately, I'm honest with y'all. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know. So another thing, just to let y'all know, because I had somebody ask me this about lighting. I don't do lighting. I have not done lighting. I need to get into lighting. I'm actually thinking about playing with some lights. Again, I rent this place, so I can't do what I want to do. I can't put holes in the wall, even though I have put holes in the wall. But I know how to patch them up, so they're not humongously huge holes and stuff like that. But I'm mindful of that. Again, the dream is to have an unfinished basement. I have the lights. I have all this other stuff, have a spot for a podcast area that is not the exact same thing. That's the dream that we're working towards. But we got a lot of stuff, but that's what we're doing. Lamar, I have a moderately large church that I am hooking up a live stream for. We want the stream to go to multiple TVs, monitors, in different rooms around the church. What do I need to make that happen? Well, Lamar, first, what is the main thing that's going to send the distribution? What's going to handle that? I need to know that. Typically, I would just send it out from, if you're using the ATEM or whatever. Let me, because people always say I'm always talking about ATEM. Let's just talk about you're doing this through vMix. This is the same thing I'm doing right now. vMix has an output that you can send either over HDMI. If your graphics card has another output, you can use a DeckLink mini monitor, whatever. That will send out the program, and you can send that to a distribution, HDMI, SDI, whatever, and then that will feed. Just realize it's a splitter. It's not a matrix. A splitter is one input by how many other outputs. So like 1 by 8, 1 in, 8 outputs. It's going to split the same signal to 8. A matrix is going to have multiple ins and multiple outs. So you could have a 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 4. It can have a mixture. But the issue with that is whatever your source is. So I've done that a couple of times. What church was I at? It was when we were in Boston. We needed to run a second output, but I only had one line running into the ceiling. So we had to run a second so we can send 2 unique outputs. A splitter is just going to split one signal. If you have 2 unique outs that you want to go, you need to have some type of matrix or multiple dedicated lines for every type of connection. But let me know, and then we can get more in detail about that. Mike, I appreciate that. If your like button is clear, show some love and click that. So again, I appreciate that, folks. If you can click the like button, hit the subscribe. If you're wondering how come you can't leave comments on here, you have to be subscribed. The live stream, I do that because it's a whole bunch of like bots that post a bunch of nonsense, but they never subscribe. So do that. That way you can leave comments on these live streams because they're for subscribers only. And I would really appreciate that. John, is that safety talk something that could be shared publicly? Is there a link you could post? Sure. Actually, we live streamed it. So it is actually on our church page. So if I go here, youtube.com, Signs and Wonders Ministries, and it is right here. I will put a link to it. And this was the whole thing where we had that's our attorney general, and we're just talking about different protocols and everything like that. So and that's Clovia Lawrence. That is the deputy chief. That is the lieutenant colonel. And again, I forgot his title. I think he's an attorney or something like that. So again, I will put the link to that if y'all are interested in that. It was really good. It was just talking about the protocols of how do we handle dealing with the upsurge of violence and the community and working together with the police and everything like that. So Richmond Public Safety Forum. That will be in the comments there, and I appreciate that. All right, let's go to our next one here. For the poll, I am currently using the OI portable Wi-Fi tower and is placed near to our entrance door. And I ran a Cat5 from the landline to our setup. Thank you for the subscription. Our setup, but to connect our phone and wireless connection is a bit low reception. So I'm thinking of adding, okay, I need to wait for the whole comment to come out because I'm missing this. Julian Mosby, first time here. Well, thank you for joining. Checking in for a small member congregation. Need a source to refer to if time doesn't allow here. Need info on live streaming services. We will work on website. We'll work on websites too. Well, like I said, if you need some help, go to ajhomes.com/consultations and we can set up something and we can try and find either, if I can't help you, I will point you in a direction to some trusted services that can help you. I used to do websites. I just don't have the time to do them anymore. I still know how to do them. I just don't. I don't even update my website as much as I need to. We are in the process. I actually had 2 people, some interns possibly coming on. One is going to be a video editor, videographer, photographer. Have another one that's an actual electrical engineer. I might have some other folks and get some hands. We're looking at growing the team, folks. Let me get on my soapbox here for a second. I hope a lot of y'all have said y'all enjoy the stuff I do, and I really appreciate that. I know my limits. I am starting to reach the limit of I love traveling, but driving all over the place and stuff like that, it's getting worn out. But more importantly, I want to develop a team, and my business has always been to not try and penny pinch, but to try and help as many people as possible that have same core value system of why I do what I do. So really looking at bringing on people like that so that we can add more people, not to make my business bigger, but I can multiply myself and it's just not me installing stuff everywhere. That's why I want to give back to y'all that hopefully, what y'all get from me, you're not just keeping it for your church, for your local church. Share that knowledge with the other people around who are not watching. That's what it's all about. That's my goal, is to educate you so that you can go help your ministry and then any other in the surrounding areas. Because again, it's not a competition. We're about complementing each other. That's what it's about. And again, I'm looking to bring on other people to complement the vision of what we're doing so that we can reach and impact more. Hey, I love traveling all over the place, but it would be so much better if it was 10 people with the same core beliefs and wanting to help share the gospel and educate ministries and churches to share like never before. If it was 10 of us, just imagine as much traveling I'm traveling every day. What if it was 10 of us doing that to different locations? Do you see how much faster we can help transform the body of Christ? Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. John, much appreciated, AJ. I will watch it. Thanks for all you do. Hey, you are welcome. Back to Lamar. We're going with the AJaytheCEO stream. The rooms are very far away. I initially was thinking about using video transmission to send signal wirelessly, but I want to get your opinion. Well, Lamar, what I would do in that setup, depending on how far away, if it's over 300 feet, we might have to do something else. But personally, from an economical standpoint, I have used the Thor HDMI Petite RF modulator that converts your signal coming out of the ATEM into a digital channel. So it just plugs into the coax if your church already exists with that cabling, or running regular coax is very cheap. You don't need any converters. You get that one box that's $500 and it has no limit on how many TVs it can broadcast to, because it's just like back in the day when we didn't have CD players in the car. You had to put the tape inside of your tape deck. And I know I'm probably dating myself, but you put it in the tape deck and it has an adapter that would convert and play directly to the radio. Or the next iteration, you had a cigarette lighter transmitter that you put in and it pretended like it was a radio station and you turned your radio to that to pick it up. That's the same thing. It would send the HDMI, convert it to a signal that's over coax, as long as it's connected to the network of coax cables that you can get dirt cheap from Lowe's and Home Depot. Run it, hook it to the coax on the back of your TV, getting regular coax splitters, and all you got to do is search the TV for it. I have tons of videos where I've used that. That would be the best way and an economical way. I would not use that if those TVs that are using are close to the sanctuary, because there is a delay with those. So if I come over here, that would be this video right here, budget video distribution. And this is exactly how I set that up. Actually, I've installed 4 of them at a bunch of churches, and they have been very, very happy with them. And they have been far distance with that. Coax cable can go, I think, about 300 feet of distance. But again, in this scenario, you can just put a booster in between if you're doing coax. I don't know how far that would be, but that's what I would go in that direction. But you always could do some other stuff. All right. Philip Paul has an all-router model. Okay. I need to do some research on this. I need to get you said that was he's setting up a router and he was talking about the type. So let me search this model. And that is that. And then I need the model number, which is DIR-850L. That shows like a D-Link. An old router. Yeah, that's showing as a D-Link router. Let me see. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's see. I need to see some pictures. Okay, I mean it's a standard connection, but I'm trying to figure out again. Maybe I'm missing what you're trying to say. Let me go back over here. Look at your comment again. You're saying in place near our entrance, and I ran a Cat 6 from the landline to our setup, but to connect our phone and wireless connection is a bit low reception. So I was thinking about adding an old router. I guess I'm missing. Why are you connecting a phone to it? Is that going to be the source of the internet? I mean, what is your source? Because I guess I'm missing some of the parts you're saying. So landline that I ran will go through the old router, then to the setup. Yeah, if you could post a picture of that, because I guess I'm not able to comprehend how the setup is and what's your source and everything like that. If you can like do a quick picture in like diagrams.net or draw.io and post it on the Facebook group, I can reference back because I'm just not getting it. And I apologize for that. Back to Cletus. Our Sanctuary TVs are only set up to display from ProPresenter using a display out. My pastor now wants the TVs to display from ProPresenter and live shots. How much redesign am I looking at? Well, what is the source? Are you using the ATEM? What is being used to bring in all your live shots? Let me know. And it might be a lot easier than you if I looked up, I could have seen your comment. I'm currently using the ATEM in the Extreme and have another output that can be used. What I would do is, and this is the same way I have it set up at my church, and I have it set up in here, so I should be able to do this now to show you exactly how I would do that. So let's cut over here. Let's open up ProPresenter. The ATEM in the Extreme, this is another reason why I like having the ATEM in the Extreme. It gives you 2 USB outs. So one USB out right now is going to my live streaming system, which is what y'all are seeing right now. So whenever ProPresenter wants to open, there it goes. What I have is my input being brought in right now from here. So let me see. Let me bring up something first. I want to make sure. And it's still doing that. Let me kill the sound here. My apologies if it was doing that. Inspector audio. Let's mute that. All right, so like right now, I am outputting this on screen number 4. So this would be kind of like how you were doing it. This is what's showing up right now. That's what's showing up as full screen. That's the same thing of how it's going to your monitor. But I have the ATEM as an input here because it's connected. One of the extra USBs are connected here. So now we're getting our feed. So whenever I want to bring something in for something that's not dedicated, I would just bring in this live feed. So I can turn this on right now. So if I go back to that screen, this is what you're seeing. But if I turn off the overlay and then the background, you're seeing it go into infinity, but it's actually showing the screen because you can't loop it on itself. So that's what's actually being shown. And it's kind of hard for me to show this. Actually, how can I do this? What screen do I have that y'all can see? Let me do this top screen, the big screen that I have on the wall, and then you'll be able to see the same thing. So we're going to go to screen configuration. My sanctuary ones is that one. All right. So now let's do that same scenario. Let's cut back over here so you can see. So now if I bring in That's what's going to be showing inside the sanctuary. But now if I turn on my output, you should see the same camera. So now if I turn off the background, as you can see, now that's what's going on. That's all being done inside of ProPresenter just by the ATEM being connected to the other feed. So hopefully that works. As you can see, that's what's showing right here. And that's just by turning that on and off by using that feed right here that's connected over USB. So hopefully that works. That should be really simple. You shouldn't have to do anything else at all. You just have to connect the ATEM to it, and that's it. So hopefully that helps. And maybe if I pick the right camera so I can get back here. All right, and I need to turn off ProPresenter so I can actually see my comments now. All right, we got a bunch of people from chiming all over the world. From Barbados, Ryan, thank you for joining. Well, I was just in Boston about 2 weeks ago. I thought somebody was I heard from somebody who's in Rhode Island. I hadn't heard back from them, but we'll see. But I will see. That's what I need to do. I'm probably going to do this on my website, and I need to make it secure so I can keep y'all's information. So I'm probably going to put up a list, a kind of volunteer form or something like that, so you can put your state, where you're at, and stuff like that, and a telephone number. Again, it's not going to be shared with nobody except for just me and Dee or anybody here with my company, to where we can call you and let you know, hey, we're in the area. If you'd like to volunteer, blah, 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 something like that. Yeah, T, who just jumped in. That's who we did the stuff in Boston. But what I want to do is put something in place so that y'all can register if you want to volunteer, and we can call you when we're in the area, and maybe we can catch up and bring some help and stuff like that. So I will look at doing that. I will post it on the community tab and on Facebook and Twitter and all this other stuff when I put that stuff in place. Ray Click Media Productions. Hey, thank you. Really appreciate it. Lamar as well. Thank you so much. I would hire you. We're in Michigan, and I know the price would be more than what we would have at the moment. I appreciate you spreading the knowledge. Hey, we've been in Michigan, and we've been in Illinois, so you'd be surprised. I would say just ask. I do not charge a lot compared to everybody else. But if you're really interested, hey, even if you just need a helping hand or something like that, give me a call. We can schedule some stuff out and see how that can work out. Brian Jones, what is going on, sir? Michelle Henry. Good morning, AJ. How can you see multi-view remotely on the Extreme Mini? Right now, I have an external camera pointing at the monitor to help the staff. How can I do it remotely? I am not sure. Well, let me take that back. What you could do is you could put a splitter on it and have an HDMI wireless transmitter, and then you can have the receiver put on another monitor somewhere. You could do it that way. I've split the I've split the multi-view out so that multiple people can see that. Like, it'll be on like both ends of a media booth, and you just split it. But if you need to do it remotely, you would get like a cheap HDMI wireless transmitter. I've done ones at Antioch, like $150, and just put it on the end, and it actually has a loop out, so it should actually work. So like, let's go here, and let's do HDMI wireless transmitter receiver. And I think this is the one that I've used. No, it isn't. But in theory, it's the same thing. And you see it right here. It has a loop out. So you can have the multi-view, and I need to get a lower stand now that I've moved this. This is not economical. Sorry for all the noise of moving the mic. But you can have the multi-view from the ATEM going into the line in, and that will send it wirelessly to the receiver, but then you can do the loop out back to the local monitor, and then that way you can have two. That's how I would do that. Now, if you need to do multiple ones, they do have wireless transmitters, so it's like one transmitter to two receivers. I would do something like that, but that's how I would do that if you really needed it remotely. D, The person who keeps me straight just jumped on. Hey, D, thank you so much for everything that you're doing and helping me out. I really, really appreciate all your hard work. Transmitter. And I'm typing and didn't even go HDMI wireless transmitter. Hopefully that helps you there. All right, let's get back to our comments here. James Palmer. Do you always use the X32, and what would you use for a first console? I want an X32. Well, I use the X32 just because that's what I've been comfortable with, and because all the churches I've worked with when I came in, that's what they already had. And a lot of times when other clients have contacted me, they're saying, oh, this church referred me. We want the same thing that they have. So that's the reason why I've stuck with it. I've done a Personas install. I've done the Midas 32. I've done the Wing. I've done other boards, Mackie ones, but that was because they specifically said they wanted that. And again, I don't pick anything that I don't have something that I can personally use. Like I've had the X32 rack mount for about 2 years. So I had plenty of time to cut my teeth on it, practice on it, and stuff like that. There's still so much more I can learn with it. But that's what I was comfortable with, and I could easily go to my church, or when I had one here, I was able to sample stuff. But you saying the first console, do you use the X32? Do you always use it, and what would I use? Honestly, that's what I would stick with, because when I just look in a price comparison, I haven't seen anything, I have not seen anything personally that does that that's around the same price. And my apologies for getting a drink there. Back to Ryan. Yes, ProPresenter software, ProPresenter Easy Worship can achieve live feeds as well. Awesome. Thank you for that and sharing. Hey, T again. Hope everything up there is working well with your team and everything like that. Hakeem from Nigeria. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Back to Cletus. So you're using 2 different USB connections. From what I've experienced, OBS doesn't want to share. Well, see, that's the thing. If you're using 2 connections from the ATEM Mini Extreme, it actually shows up like it's 2 ATEMs. So if you have one going to a computer for OBS, connect the other one again, and it will show as 2. And OBS won't choke on it. The only time OBS is choking is because it's using the exact same one. You change it to the other one, you'll be perfectly fine. We got some Michigan love here. Back to James. Also, let me know if you need help in connection. Yeah, I'm going to put that form together. I'm going to do that right after this, and I'll put a link to it so we can, pool together, and that way for me to catch up with y'all and bring in some help and stuff like that. Over to T. Question, I connected the USB to the computer and connected it to the ATEM. I tried to get the lower third set up. Didn't quite get it, but probably me missing something. But I can get the view on the multi-view. Okay, let me see. T, I can't remember if I still have remote access to y'all's system, because if I do, I would just remote in and actually check it out. I'm trying to see. I don't think, I thought I had y'all on here. I think you are on here. But you're saying you see it on the multi-view. So, T, all you have to do is this. Let's cut back over here, and we're going to do the same thing here on my setup. So, right now, I'm still going to use the monitor that I have up here. So, we're going to go to, and I really don't know why this song is doing this. Let's change this to a lower third that I like. What in the world? Why is this throwing off all my stuff? Let me see if I can just do it from a Bible scripture, because I have no idea. No Bibles installed. Come on now. James 1. And I want to do this in a lower third configuration. There we go. So we got this here. This is what's going to be outputted to my monitor right now. So if I cut back over to here, you see that's what's showing up, right? And this is going through my ATEM. So in the ATEM software, that is the right monitor that you're seeing. This. So if I switch back, oh, I changed it because I was using that monitor. That doesn't work. I need to have that going to the ATEM so y'all can see it. So let me change this back. And that monitor is this one. All right, so now we're still displaying it, and it's right. So that is the right monitor. So again, if I come back over here and go to the right monitor, that's what you're seeing. So that's the same thing. That's what we're doing. So I'm gonna come over to my downstream key, and this is your second output. This is gonna be separate T than what you have. I'll go over the look. Well, actually, let's do the looks as well too. So say I want, this is a feed that's dedicated into your ATEM. We don't want to do anything extra. We don't want to change what's already inside the sanctuary. So this is a dedicated one. We're going to go to our looks, and we want to set up a look that will make that monitor always be that type of layout. So we'll go here to screens, edit looks, and I have one called lower thirds. So for me, when I go here to lower thirds, and I actually got these backwards here, let me change this to entrance TV so I don't have to change all of this stuff all over again. So here's my entrance TV. That's what I called it. So I'm going to switch this one to that. Yes, I want to reassign it. All right, so in my looks, when I switch to the lower third look, so T, in your setup, the sanctuary feed is always going to show everything. The entrance TV or lyrics, no matter what happens, we're not going to show masks, we're not going to show messages, we're not going to show props, we're not going to show announcements. We are going to show slides. We're not going to show media. We're not going to show video. And every presentation is going to be converted into a lower third format. That's what that means. So with all that being said, let's go here and do both at the same time. So I actually can use the screen now that I think about it. Let's switch this one back, and we're going to change up everything. So right now, instead of this theme, let's go ahead and make it a full screen scripture. Let's put a nice picture in the background. And I need to pick something. Oh my gosh, why do y'all add all this stuff? I don't ask for that. I just want a basic background. All right, so we got our background now. So if I zoom out here, as you can see, this is going full screen. That's what's going inside the sanctuary. That's the same thing that you have there, T, right? That's what you have going on. But if we cut back over here, we're also outputting everything in a lower third format by changing our look. So we see the monitor that I got right here is showing full screen. But if I cut over to the other one that you hooked up, like you said, see, it's showing it like this. So we have two different screens showing at the same time. So now let's go back over to our stuff. So we got one screen. Let me go here one more time. And I know I'm running around, so I'm sorry. If we go to our screen, our sanctuary screen is this, all right? And let's rename it. Lower thirds ATEM. Our lower thirds ATEM screen is this, all right? So lower thirds ATEM screen from ProPresenter is this. the full screen that goes to the sanctuary is this. All right. So now that we got that set up, we're going to come to our ATEM software. Inside of here, you can pick whichever one. Downstream key is what I already have it set up as. It's going to say, take this feed and put that as my downstream key. All right. So if I zoom out, you see I'm in the sanctuary. Everybody in the sanctuary is seeing the TV, but y'all are seeing the live stream, which is where you're seeing me. If I turn on the DSK now, that's what's going on. So everybody on the live stream sees it like this, but it does not affect what people are seeing on the live stream. So you have complete inside the sanctuary. So two completely different setups. So hopefully that makes sense. That was a fast way of me explaining that, but let me know, T, if you have any other questions. I think I set up the remote control so I can remote into the system, and if everything is turned on, we can go through the settings of that, but let me know. But that's how it is, because especially if you already see it on the multi-view, we just have to make that setting with the DSK, like what I just turned off, and you should be good to go. So you're almost there, T. So let me turn these off so I can see. And let's go to our next question. Where was I at? Page 2. All right, I did that. Now we're on page 1. All right, G. Albert. AJ, maybe they can use NDI Monitor to see the multi-view remotely. I don't know, because you would have to send that in somewhere first and then convert it to NDI or have an NDI device, which will be a little bit more expensive. But yeah, so either one will work. I mean, yes, the NDI could work, but you would still need to have some type of device there. James, awesome. Like I said, be on the lookout, folks. I will put that in there. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the screen because I didn't have YouTube up. Actually, let me show you. Like, I didn't have this up. This is what I have right now, and at the bottom it showed that the ad was up. But when I was doing the Pro Presenter one, this was blocked out, so I didn't see it. So if y'all had another ad, again, my apologies. Just giving y'all a heads up. Mitch Roy, hello. All right, Philip Paul said he just uploaded a picture to the Facebook group. Let me see what that is. All right, so he has this picture here. He has his router, main internet source, going to the second access point, the old router, then to a TP-Link switch, then to your setup. Your phone uses touchboard on this. So, I mean, how is this being connected? I guess that's the part I'm trying to understand. I mean, I'm just wondering, why is the phone? What is the phone purpose of it? Is the because if you're saying your main internet source, so that means that you're not using your phone. Help me with that clarification there, Philip Paul, and then we will go from there. There he is. I told you he was going to be here. Otis. Hey. Back to Hakeem. Hey, AJ, please, how do you overlay comments on your live stream? Is it a software? Yes, that is vMix Social that is doing all of that. It is, I have a video on that, and I show how I do that. And that is right here, showing comments on your live stream. I will put a link to that, and it shows you exactly how I do that. I actually was talking to John at church last night. I'm thinking about moving Signs and Wonders from OBS to vMix so that we can do that, just setting it up in the future. So, again, I'm still love OBS, not an issue with that. But now I'm moving in that direction just because of the needs, because we're now interacting more. We want to be able to bring the comments in the house as well as seeing everybody's comments. And instead of us all going to Facebook, YouTube, and logging in to see everything, we want them all in one site. So like right now, I have comments that are on Facebook and everything like that that are being brought in. I haven't seen one from Facebook yet, but they said they're here. Oh no, no comments have come in from Facebook. Like I'm streaming right now, but like right now, I would show this would be on the screen there in iMedia. So all of the comments that we can cater and bring up are right here. So this is the interface for vMix Social that anybody can see on the network. vMix Social is being ran on my computer over here. So really, really cool, slick setup. Chad, what is going on, sir? James, yeah, the best way, honestly, is this email. You contact that comes to me and D. So we both see it in our work. All right, man. We got a bunch of international people, man. This is so awesome. I really appreciate that. Fred from Ghana. Hey, thanks for stopping by. MA16V3. Yo, Doc, can you use a USB-C hub to connect two external SSDs to the 18-minute stream? Want to see? Yes, actually you can. So, this is one that I am using right now. So, let's cut over to my right camera here. Get rid of this. So this is still blocking it. So this is my view now. Can I put that in a way that y'all can see it? I unplugged it. No. So I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Get my mic out of the way. Let's see if I can zoom in so y'all can see. Not me. All right, so y'all can see right there. There is the storage. So what I'm gonna do, y'all can see me in the screen right here. So y'all can see, I'm gonna hook up this Anchor USB hub that I got here. It has two USB connections here. So let me make sure I don't disconnect this from the wrong one because we might have a problem here. Yay, we unplugged the right one. All right, so I have my hub connected right now, and I have, let me do this. I have my Samsung, and then I have my typical, actually, this is a Samsung that used to be on this camera, but I have this goes to my HyperDeck, and then this is my 2 terabyte that I always have hooked up to do my ISO recordings. So I need 2 USB cables to connect to this hub. And you'll see the change show up on the drive. So let me cut back over here. All right, so I got 2 cables here. We can connect these to the hubs, and we'll see 2 drives now show up. Oops, I hit the wrong button. And there you can see, if I get my head out the way, you see now we have 2 drives. And the way that you change the recording is you have to hold down the jog button and it'll pick which one is recording. So if I cut over now to here, the ATEM software, if I go over here to output and record, you see now I have 2 locations. I have the SanDisk, and then I also have the one that was called HyperDeck. So I can pick whichever one, and there's now this is lit up as switch, so I can switch which one is which and which one is going where. All right. So yes, it does work. I will link the same Anchor one that I use. I actually have 3 of them. I have them on my Mac. I got one on my main computer, and that's the other one that I use for my laptop. So I will put a link there, and it works very, very well. And Anchor USB hub. The one that I have on my computer actually has an Ethernet port on it as well too. But it is this one right here. So really, really good connection. I use it for my memory cards when I'm taking stuff out of my cameras, my drone. That's what I use to bring everything in. Also, I've used this and connected to my Synology so I can pull stuff directly to my NAS as well too. But I will put a link to that. And you probably get those on a good deal as well too. Anchor USB hub. All right, folks, if you haven't done it already, please, I would appreciate if you go ahead and hit that like button. We got 65 people watching. We got 32 likes. Hey, if you like what we're doing, that's all I'm asking. If you can go ahead and hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I'm gonna let y'all know, now with all the traveling that we're doing, especially when I start getting more lists of where y'all are at, don't be surprised if all of a sudden somebody just shows up and is visiting your ministry. That is one thing that I have a mission of doing, is getting out there and about and visiting some more people, just not announcing that I'm coming. I'm just going to show up there and just see how everything is and get a chance to put a face to a lot of y'all. We're working on that. And then as God is blessing us, we'll be able to do some more international stuff, because I was going to London just for my vacation. That's a bucket list thing I wanted to do. But it's a bunch of y'all that are there, Shane and Hannah and some other ones that have been on here, try and get out there and visit y'all. So looking forward to that. R. Jackson, good morning. What IP controller do you recommend? The version we have has a display going bad after 2 years. I have a bunch of them. I have this new one from Famako. Be on the lookout for the review. That should be out by Monday, if not sooner. Depends on how tired I am when I come back from Bristol tomorrow. But I have that one. I have the AV cans that us right there. That's the one that I used to use. It all depends. I mean, you can go down to the $290 one that has a screen that shows. It's all on your flexibility. I like these because it gives me a direct connection to just press one button and go to the camera. It has some extra features. You get cheaper ones. They don't have that functionality, but that's what we got going on. I will link the one that I have been using, and I'm going to be installing. I predominantly install, I'll put it that way. Unless I find something that has been better. This is the one that I have been using, and you can see from how many times I've ordered it, how much I've used it. So that one is around like $549. But again, if you have an issue with like the pricing, because I want to be fair to everybody's pricing. I don't want to just tell this is the only thing that people need to stick with. I have used this one. This one does not have a quick link access button to the cameras. You have to hit camera and then the address. If you don't mind that, it functions exactly the same way. So I will link both of them for you. So that's the 550 joystick. That's this one. And then the 250. Again, this is US 250 joystick. Is there. So hope that helps y'all. And I realized I did not do the podcast for this week. So my apologies. I need to do that for y'all. Dcraft TV. Hello, AJ. Can you tell me if it is possible to connect OpenLP to the A10 Mini Stream? Yes, you can. Any presentation software, you just have another output coming from the computer just running it, and it displays full. And there are people in the Facebook group that use OpenLP, and yes, it can. T was saying, no, I'm asking if I can get the multi-view on the, if I can get the view on the multi-view. Yeah, you can. you would have to, so T in your setup, because I think we don't have everything turned on. All you would do in this setup, T, is inside the ATEM, go to your settings, and you have multi-view. So right now you have this little screen right here. It's just configured. So if I did this side by side, so if I do this right now with mine, so I'm just going to click this. As you can see, I only have one big screen right now because that's my multi-view. You see how my multi-view is set up. I have one big screen that's showing me the program, and then everything else is laid out. So inside of here, if I change this to like that, and I set this to preview, now that screen is like this. And you can make that anyway. So I'm assuming in your setup, T, I can't remember off the top of my head, most likely we don't have something marked off. So you would either have to free up one of the big screens and have the preview be small, and then you would pick your next input here so it can show on the multi-view. That's how that would work. So I think that works for you. Let me know if that's still not the question that you asked. Ray Click Media. AJ, I realized when using OBS that in the midst of a graduation, OBS just went offline and I had to restart it again. But then the internet went ugly after what could cause that. I noticed it 4 times. Yeah, stuff like that. Thankfully, it has not happened that much. It used to happen with me, and it still does very, 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 very rarely. It's just that I throw more than enough resources to it, and then I've tweaked it enough to avoid any of the main bottlenecks that cause that issue. Like one of the main things is having it too high, or having OBS try to use the CPU to encode instead of a dedicated GPU, and then with the GPU, make sure it actually has hardware encoding on it, have the right kilobits that it can handle compared to your upload speed. And like, for example, again, I know people be messing with me when I do speed tests and stuff like that now. So if I come over here now, do a speed test on my connection, and let's change this to Richmond. So if I run this right now, and I'm using Fios right now, so my download speed is a gig. And then, but more importantly, it's the upload speed. And maybe I should have did this. Let me do this at my church. This is more realistic because mine is a different type of connection. So let me go to my church here, and let's log in. Let's do a speed test here. All right, so it's Comcast at my church. So the download is around like 300. Come on now. Make this full screen. All right, but then my upload speed is only around like 30, 35. So with that being said, the settings inside of here, I'm not going to try and crank this. Thank you, Ricardo C, for the subscription. With that being said, I'm not going to crank up the streaming in here. So it's a good balance of how you handle this stuff. So if I go here to my streaming configuration here, and I go to my output, even though I have relatively 30 to 35 megabit upload speed, that would be, like 5 megabits right here. If I changed it from kilobits, that's how that would be. I could put this at 30. First, I wouldn't do that because I think YouTube doesn't even accept anything higher than that right now. This would be a waste of data. And then, can my system handle this? As you can see, I don't recall what GPU is in this computer. All right, so actually, Yeah, this is actually a Ryzen 5600G, so I don't know why this changed. So I would have the GPU handle the encoding, and 5000 is a sweet spot for me because that is what 1/7 of our total upload speed. So even if our internet tanked, it should be, you should never have your upload speed anywhere close to your limit because that means it has to be perfect the entire time, which is not realistic. So again, even when I was streaming at 4K, 4K is requiring 40 megabit upload speed, but I'm doing 900. So I'm not going to hit that anytime soon. But my computer, I'm not even running that much. I'm not running 35 um, 35,000 kilobits of data. No, that's overkill. It's just about knowing the balance in between the system here. And this is kind of how we've balanced our stuff out. And even though this was running off a CPU, the CPU was fast enough to not have any issues. So it's just about knowing the system and dialing it in. And it's a learning process. It's not like you're just going to get it the first time and it's just going to be perfect every time. We've had issues. And like I said last night, we got everything straight. But when you come in media, something is going to happen. We had the news come in and they were like, hey, we need a drop feed for them to get audio. I put that in place and then they said, oh, we need 2 more. I put them in place and then for whatever reason, the routing didn't send any audio out. So yeah, you always have some issues. MA16, if the hub needs its own power source, that is fine. Yeah, that is fine. If you need to do that. That one actually can bring in more power if needed. It has a power in USB-C. So the ones that I'm using, the bigger one that I'm using does that. The smaller ones doesn't. Back to Cletus. I thought I would have to tear everything down and start over. Thank you. By the way, I've had multiple people ask how I came up with this knowledge. I pointed them all to your channel. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad, yeah, something simple. You don't have to redo everything. That should be straightforward with you. Back to G. Albert. AJ, can you give us a high-level overview on how to remote into ProPresenter on a Mac Mini at church securely? How to remote into it? Honestly, I wouldn't. Only because with ProPresenter, if you have the license, well, I mean, obviously you have it. If you have there, I would download the remote software. That's how actually I used it. So in here, you can go into, as long as you're on the same network, where is it at? Yeah, under network, you can enable this and you have a controller software that you can download and control. That's what I used to do when I was at Antioch. I had the app on here that I can change slides. Now, you can't add new stuff like that, but if there's already an agenda in your playlist, you can go through it that way. And that's how I would do that. And then you also have the Stage app, all these other apps you could use and connect to it. That's how I would do it. But my question is, what do you need? If you're trying to remote in to get full access or something, let me know. That might be a different question that we need to approach it from a different direction for that. Mike, have you seen Midjourney's new pan function? I'm loving it. Just wish hands would get better. Now, honestly, I have not played around with it. I still have it. Since I've been so busy, I haven't used it. I used to use it for thumbnails and stuff like that at church, but since I haven't been at my church on a Sunday for going on 3 months now, like I'm not even going to be able to be back at my church until like the 30th of this month. Good problems to have, but that's what I've used it for. I still make the thumbnails if I get them. So if my pastor sends one, I'll probably make it here before I get on the road when I get in the air. Go there. T. Okay, thank you. It makes sense. I would try it when I get to church later. Awesome. Let me know. Dcraft TV. I mean, having a second output live stream. Yeah, that will work too. Thank you for that. I'm thinking of switching to Pro Presenter. I thought you were already on that, Otis. Or y'all, yeah, I thought y'all were already using that. Let's see, page 1. Dana, can you do the overlay in OBS? Yeah, you can. That's you can do that naturally. without having to do that. Now you can bring it in multiple ways. So let's do that again in ProPresenter. Get rid of this. So I'm gonna bring up ProPresenter, and instead, let's go ahead and change that screen. It's two ways you can do it. Let's do it both ways. So if I go back to screens first, and I think I already got these set up. Yeah, so I got one of these set up as an NDI monitor. And then we have, I want to do another one as, yeah, I guess I can't do it that way. Yeah, so I'm going to do it as a screen capture and then also as a NDI feed. All right, so first, let's go to our looks. And these are the other screens that I have here, motion and this. So for lower thirds, I'm just going to mimic the same thing. Turn all of this off because I don't want that. But I do want it to be in a lower third format. I'm going to put it like that. This one also like that. All right. So we got our scripture going. All right. So now let's open up the OBS here. And this is where I'm going to use the other camera because ProPresenter is looking at this by ATEM. All right. So if I come here to Soivus and let's change my capture device to the HD camera that's right here. Yay. So we got that here. Let me turn off. That's the animated lower thirds I just used. So we want to use one of the other things. So we got the screen going on. Let me turn everything on here. So we got our screens going on right now. So what I can do is first, let's do a screen capture, display capture, and I need to pick the monitor, which is the Blackmagic, and there we go. See, we got that. Yay, don't that look great? No, it doesn't. We need to actually do a color correction. So we're gonna go to our filters, add a color correction, or color key, excuse me, and we're gonna select the black in the screen. And I'm gonna say pick from the screen color. And boom, there you go. So if I go here into ProPresenter, and let me go back to my Bible, and I go to a different verse, as you see, it's changing. Let me move this over here so we can actually see both at the same time. So I come in here, I can change my verses. As you can see, they're changing. But if I go to this shot here, you can see they're all changing. You see it's full screen here, but it's still small right there. So that is from a display capture. But what if I don't want to do that? Let me turn this off, and we got another screen going, right? We have NDI. If we have NDI installed, which I do, we're going to call this our lyrics source. And I need to pick the lyrics that are coming from ProPresenter. And there it is, called lyrics. And there that is. I don't know why it's doing it that way, because I changed the look. Let's make sure our look is that way. There it goes. Now I had to click it again. So now it's in the lower third format, and we just do the same thing. We're going to go to filters, add a, oh, that's the wrong one. We're going to go to our color key, custom color, select color, pick from screen, click on the screen, and boom, there you go. The exact same thing. If I start picking on different slides, and the format of this is wrong. I need to change that because I just clicked it, but there you go. And if we cut back over here, as you can see, does the same way. You see it changing at the same time. And that's all in OBS. So hopefully that helps you. All right, let's turn that off. And let's turn off ProPresenter there. And boom, I think we're good from there. Let's go to our next one here. Darren, what do you use to remote access? Chrome remote desktop? Yes, Google remote Chrome desktop is what I use. I used to use PC Anywhere, and then that was garbage. Then I used to do log me in. Then they started going to paid, and then all them other ones, they just started charging an arm and a leg, and a whole bunch of scam people started using it. And then when Google Chrome came out and it doesn't cost you anything, hey, I'll move to that. Back to G. Albert. Do we have your permission to take a snippet of your recent ATEM ProPresenter demo to our media team? Yeah. If it's on YouTube, yes. The only issue I have, and YouTube's going to have an issue, is if you sample it and then post it to your channel, then I would get a copyright infringement from y'all, and I can do something with it. But no, that's what this whole channel is for you to share this information to help everybody out. Mom's video. Good morning. Do you have any advice on using the effects for the live stream audio on X32? That is another thing I have not played around with, so I'm sorry. No, I do not, but I know there are tons of people in our Facebook group who actually do. I know one thing I would like to do is do reverb and all this other stuff like that, but I honestly have not played around with that. Most of the time, I haven't had a chance to become a surgeon with our stuff and be very meticulous and add the other things that I know I want to. Right now, a lot of my stuff is big, broad, and then we dial it in when we have time, but I haven't had time because I'm still helping other ministries with the broad. But that is something I want to do. But I would honestly pose that question over to the Facebook group. I'm sure somebody is actually using that. I know my brother-in-law and them at Gates of Faith, they use that over there as well too. Back to Chad. What's the largest SSD that's compatible for the A10 Mini Extreme? We need a storage solution for all our ISOs. I'm currently using a 2 terabyte, and I think a 4 terabyte works. Because it's all about the speed. And I believe also what the A10 can recognize. Like the PlayStation can't see anything higher than 8 terabytes, I believe. But yeah, so like right here, and it's looking for the speed. So this is the 4 terabyte version. And that joint used to be $700. Sweet Moses. Wow. Stuff has came down. But this is the one that I'm using right now. I actually got it on it. Oh man, that's low. I might have to buy another one of them at that price. Yeah, actually, let me take you off screen because I need to buy another one of those at that price. I'm gonna do it in a different color, so that way I can tell them apart. Oh, the other one went up in price. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to just use the same color one that I got. A 2 terabyte for $120 that's good. That's very good. Very good. But I would say I would try that for you. And once I get this order out the way so that I don't put all my information out there. So yay, that's ordered. Let's go to Blackmagic site and let's go to our setup. Let's go to the ATEM and we're looking for our compatibility. If you haven't, they always have this stuff here so you can see what is recommended here. Yeah, so 4 terabytes is the highest that I'm seeing. So I would say that for right now. Or kind of like what I do, Chad, is what I do. I have my NAS over here that I offload everything to. And when I'm done, I offload that to a bigger, slower, more cost effective thing. So I just use the SSDs locally. And then when I'm done, I offload that to a bigger, mechanical drive, one that's cheaper. And then I keep that around for 2 years until I purge it. That could also be an option as well, too, for you. But I will, if I can get my mouse over here. Come on. There you go. I will link to the one that I just ordered. So, again, I don't recommend stuff that I don't use. That's actually this one. So I just got another one. Again, that is the 2 terabyte version. I just got another one there. So if I cut over here, you can see I just ordered it. So I have a link to there if you're interested. And you can pick the 4 terabyte there if you want to. SanDisk 2 terabyte SSD for ATEM. Hope that helps. And I hope it also shows too, not from a bragging sense. I really hope, I want to hopefully instill confidence in whatever stuff I recommend to y'all is because whatever I'm recommending, I'm using myself too. I don't tell y'all about anything that's just wishy-washy, that it just looks this way. No, I only recommend stuff that I use and you see that I actually use as well too. So Philip Paul was explaining that the phones are connected to the OA router to connect Touch Portal to my laptop. The router is the main source. So the router is using your phone for its main internet connection, not like your ISP or something like that. Okay, I mean, but technically in that diagram, then yeah, that should work. Dcraft TV, when are you coming to London? I am looking between either the last week in August. My birthday's September 5th. So it's mainly because my daughter's starting school early. Normally, they don't start school until the week of my birthday. My birthday normally falls on Labor Day here in the United States, and that very next day, typically when school starts, but they're starting school early in August. So I'm thinking about the last week of August, like the 30th, so that I will be in UK from in London from the 1st through the 7th. That's what I'm thinking. It's not in stone yet, but that is what I'm planning to do. John, did you already create a volunteer list? Did you already post a link to it, or is that something coming future? It's going to come after I get off of this. I need to set it up through my MailChimp that's collecting everything and stuff like that. And I will have that, and I'll post a link to it. I will do the full setup later when I am back home. Then we can see from there. Okay, let me know. And all right, we got another page here. I'm going to go through this page, and then we're going to be done here. Thank you for the link in the demonstration. Going to snag one real quick. Hey, you are welcome. Darren Campbell. Question regarding tethering mobile phone with the ATEM streaming. Will burn through my high-speed data in minutes. Then it drops to 3G. Is 3G fast enough to work? I've used it. But honestly, it depends. Like I've streamed 4 games on my phone and I have a data cap. I have a Verizon business account and I still have a data cap on a data cap on mine. That's, I think it was maybe 7 gigabytes or something like that. And I was able to stream at least 4 full 3-hour football games before anything got hit. What I would probably do is see if you can find another. Some routers give you an option for a SIM card, and maybe T-Mobile or wherever that has a good provider, you can actually get one of these SIM cards that have like a unrestricted, but I don't think 3G is going to be able to give you a good performance with that. I don't believe so. Rodney, good seeing you again here. How do you verify that OBS is using your GPU encoding? Can you see how many encoders, decoders are being run on your GPU at any given time? I'm thinking NVIDIA has a limit of 3. Yeah, you can. The best way to do that is if I cut back over here, and we're just going to go to settings. And the best way is just to look right here, what you have selected. You can see the drop down, like right now, I have 2. I have the typical NVENC, and then I have the H.264. So I can pick either one of them. It all depends on your platform. And then I typically have it turned off, but there's normally a graphic that you can turn on to show what's actually going to the stream. Or you can go to Task Manager. And if we go to performance and we go to GPU, sometimes you can go to processes and sort by GPU usage. And I think I have mine turned off. on you can see, but it's one of those that you can do either one. Let's see. Thanks, Jay. The move transition is now working. What is your Cash App? Hey, well, I appreciate it, but Cash App, if you're doing it, is AJ the CEO. Just right there, AJAY the CEO, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Back to MA16v3. If everything in your broadcast is going perfectly, you have not gone live yet. Something I've learned since working. Yeah, always. Otis, no, we're on Easy Worship 7. Some other churches I set up use Purpose Center. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it'll be a good move for you, Otis. Back to Dana. Is there a plugin that allows you to overlay YouTube comments in OBS? No, but there was somebody sent me a link. I think I saved it that showed a way to do that. I think I saved it. I need to find where I did it and do a video on that. But I'm not aware. I mean, there's HR2, I believe that the H2R graphics does that, but I know it used to have some issues with it. But I think Aaron Procheski, I know I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, he uses that a lot and he talks about that. But if they have one dedicated, if y'all let me know exactly what it is and you can email it to me or whatever, I'll do a video of it so I can bring it to everybody else's attention as well. Jesse, hey, good morning from California. I hope you're staying cool out there. I heard it's hot out there as well, too. Nikki, hey, I tried switching from the A10 Mini Pro to the ISO Extreme. Camera showed, but the audio did not come through our restream. I'm going to try again tomorrow. Any thoughts? I would just make sure that you have everything set up with that setting there. So like if we cut back over here, just make sure your audio is still turned on. As you can see, my camera in front of me is picking up audio. My other, well, that's the HyperDeck. So that's just a recording. So that doesn't mean nothing. I have my sound system. That's the only one that's active. Make sure that it's active and you have it set appropriately. If you have a mixer, that you have it set for a line in. If you have a mixer, this is for when I have my wireless connected for a mic. I would check that just to verify that your audio is coming that way. Then you should be good to go. Back to G. Albert. G. Albert, follow up on ProPresenter Remote. If I want someone to set up this order of service, scripture, and presentations, do they have to update ProPresenter physically at the church or remotely? ProPresenter does not have a cloud function. Honestly, if you were doing it that way, I would have them download ProPresenter at home, which works. You're just going to get the watermark. I would have them say set up everything and then export the playlist and put it on a thumb drive and just bring it in. That would be the easiest thing. But they currently do not have a cloud function with ProPresenter, so that somebody can do it at home and do it that way. Kevin J. AJ, we have been having issues with social media sites taking our videos down. Can you do a demo on how to set up your own private site to stream to sometime? Yeah, I have the Owncast one, and now that I have another server, somebody followed up and asked me how to set up the license and everything, the SSL certificate and all this other stuff to use your own stuff. Now that I know that I got enough horsepower to do this, I will do the full follow-up and do stuff like that. I need to put another drive in here, so that I need to dual boot into Windows and Linux so that I can do that on this other system that I'm going to keep, and I will go through that other stuff for you. Lorenzo Santiago, I used to use Google Chrome Remote Desktop. I switched to Real VNC and never looked back, to be honest. I have a team of my computers, but also have access to other people's PCs on their teams. Awesome. I have to look into that. Oh, and thank you, Otis. I told you, man, he's the man with the knowledge. Yeah, insert the FX on the stream bus matrix. Uniclens? Hey, AJ, we have an A10 Mini for our church. One day the HDMI went out, just stopped working. What could be the cause? Overheating? That could be one. I've seen out of the tons of ones, I've had a couple of people where the HDMI died. I would say which is it, an input or is it output that died? Let me know. But honestly, you might have to do an RMA, and to be unfortunately, since if it's the base A10 Mini, they don't make that or service it anymore. People who've called for service, they've actually told them it's actually cheaper for you to actually just get an A10 Mini Pro than it is for them to service that one. And you're from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you for stopping by. And MA16 said the same thing that my concern was. He said larger drives may work, but Blackmagic has not validated them. So the safe bet, stick within what Blackmagic has done, or if you want to be daring, you can go get one and try it and just realize if it doesn't work, that's on you. Again, if I got a 4 terabyte, I don't need one like that, but if I just had money to blow like that, I would and test it out and let you know. But I have no desire to get a 4 terabyte drive. If I did that, I would, honestly, I would connect it to my ATEM. I mean, not my ATEM. I would connect it to my PlayStation more than anything. Also, has anyone tried the USB-C Ethernet adapter, USB-C to Ethernet adapter on the ATEM Mini Stream? I mean, I got one. We can try it. So this is the bigger Anchor one that I have that I said has an Ethernet port. I don't think it will work. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't think there are drivers to be able to bridge that gap. But let's see. All right, so I have this connected now. Do I have another Ethernet connection? Oop. I have it set. I set the hub on and hit the button on here. Let's see. So this was the smaller one. The bigger one is connected. Let's first hook up the drives. So if I switch back here, oh yeah, the other drive isn't connected. That would be the reason why it's not showing. So as you can see, it wasn't connected. Should see it soon. There it goes. So yeah, that drive works, but I don't know about network. Let me see. All right, I have. All right, that is interesting because I actually am getting network activity on this. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. So I'm getting network activity, but I don't know how that would actually show up. I've never even tried to do that. So this is going to be fun. Let me get this out of the way so it doesn't do another fade to black. So if we go here and let's go to connection setup, and I don't know how that's getting another connection, to be quite honest. Let me go to my router and let me see what it actually says. Because it could just be giving access, getting network activity, but the ATEM isn't really talking to it in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. So if we go here to clients, And I sort by uptime. That's days. And I'm connected to this one. If I go to ports, see, I'm connected to number 3. I don't see anything going there. So where's my connection? So I want to see what shows up. That's input number 3. So that's input 1, 2. Yeah, I don't think the ATEM is actually reading anything off of that, because I don't see any type of connection, and I don't even see how the software is actually able to see that either. Yes, I don't know. That was a good test, but I mean, I never thought to try that, but I don't know. And I don't want to disconnect it, because if I do, I'm not going to have a way to connect to it. Actually, let me disconnect the Ethernet on the back. All right, so now the Ethernet is disconnected, but it still has a network connection. Interesting. No, there it goes. Let me close this and open it right back up again. It says it. Oh, yeah. That it doesn't work, because that's going. It's not showing anything. So that Ethernet port on that hub is not doing anything. It's showing activity, but it's not giving actually anything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the chips inside of the hub are responding, but it's not doing anything. So I just connected the Ethernet cable back. Let's see. And there it is. Yeah. So it's not picking up that other one. So if you ever want to know, it does not work. All right. We're going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon. Abia Raka. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Good morning. I have a question. Do you have any recommendations on PC remote access for our multimedia PC? I would say try Google Chrome Remote Desktop first, because that would be free. And if you need something more than that, I would go from there. You just need to have one Google account logged in, and then you can access it. That's what I typically have used with most of the churches I work with remotely. Thank God for the funds that came in that managed to get the SanDisk SSD and tested the service today. Works great. Thanks, you guys, for the service. Hey, you are welcome. By the way, question to that. When I connect it to the ATEM, the green light does not come up, but on the screen, it detects. Can you start record? No, you can't start record if the green light is not on. Typically, if the green light is not on, it means that there's something going on with it. Use the original cables that came with it, the SanDisk to connect. First, make sure that works. If it doesn't, you might need to format it to exFAT. That's the format that it needs. Typically, you don't have to change nothing when it comes right off of the box, because that's the format that it works with. That's embedded on that when you get it. If you have an issue, reformat it and connect it with the cable that came with it. That's what you need to do. And then you should get that light. Funwell, no, I have not. I'm actually thinking about, once I take care of some other stuff, I was going to use, buy some smaller ones to try and play around with it and with the DMX controller and all that other stuff. Do you use RG8? No, I have not. Ricardo, I upgraded my church computer operating system, and after that, our streaming is having drop frames per second. We use the ATEM Mini Pro. Is there any setting that I can have to move in the ATEM? No. Is it dropping? Are you streaming from the ATEM, or are you streaming from the computer? Let me know that, and we can go from there. Keith has a suggestion to that comment. Social Stream Ninja. That was what it was. Thank you for that. That brought that up. That does the overlay. I thought because if I get that to work, I might not even have to move that. Social Stream Ninja. Yeah, so I will play around with that. That was the one that somebody brought, and I completely forgot about it. That says it could do those overlays and stuff like that. So let's save it again. That way we'll play around with that. Now, test around with it and then bring a video out to y'all to hopefully help you out with that. Last 2 comments, and we are going to be done. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today. We currently have a Wi-Fi network on 3 Netgear Nighthawk routers. It is connected back to the cable modem. Each has 4. And I'll wait for that last part to come in. You were saying you use the original cable, but you were able to record. Yeah, I don't know. It should be doing that. Okay, no, the ATEM is streaming from Caster. I would just say check the, make sure that the ATEM setting did not change. So like if we go to the ATEM software in here for streaming, make sure you don't have this set too high. It's not set to hyper. You put it there, that's going to be way, way too high for your bandwidth, stuff like that. But make sure, I would play around with these, make sure it's still doing that. But if it's streaming from the ATEM, there is a known issue. Like I've been streaming this entire time to my website using my ATEM Mini Pro, and it is cached full as well too. It filled up the cache, which is, it's a known issue that the ATEM has still been doing that for some odd reason. And for whatever reason, I kill the connection and then I go right back to it and it's working perfectly fine. Now it's not caching up again. And again, I'm using 6 megabits, 7 megabits, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm at 9 megabits and my upload speed is 900. So I know it's not tapping out with that. It's something going on with the Blackmagic stuff, and that's a known issue that a bunch of people have been talking about. So if that's the case, I'm not 100% sure because I'm getting the same thing. Might be Caster. I would play around with Restream. There is a free option. I hope they haven't done away with that, but maybe. I would try and just stream just to 1 from the ATEM and just see if you still have the issue to remove if it's the ATEM's problem or Caster's problem. Shane and Hannah, I was just talking about you. We're still planning, trying to come out there in the UK around September. I'll make announcements about that. Last 4 comments and we shutting it down. James, what cable do you use for PTZ cameras, and is it the same for outdoor? I have not used any outdoor because I need the PTZs to have NDI filters, and those PTZs with NDI filters, I have not found one less than $4,000. So I don't use those. It all depends. If it's interior, I've used SDI cable, RG6. I've also used fiber optic HDMI. Either one of those, how I do it. Michael, hey, AJ, my niece is going to build me a video editing computer. I'd like to send you the specs. How would I send it to you? You would just send it over to me to questions@ajhomes.com, and I will take a look at it and help you out. Hey, no, you are fine. You're fine. Back to John's comment. He was saying he has 3 Netgear Nighthawks. Original comment about this. That's how I had Antioch set up before I knew about Ubiquity. I had a router in the administrator wing, one for the learning center, and then one for the media ministry. And then when I learned about Unify and Ubiquity stuff, I got rid of all of them and I only have one. But it was saying connected back to the cable modem. Each router has 4 Ethernet ports with components. Would you suggest if replacing with a Unify? Honestly, the beauty of that, you wouldn't even need to. So the beauty of that is, let's cut over here real quick and I'll show you exactly the same thing that I did to do this at Antioch. So if I go to Antioch stuff, what I did originally was this, is when I replaced their stuff, the main router is the UDM Pro, which I added later. It was really just the gateway, and then when they had this built, I had a gateway and a cloud key, and then they merged them. Then I moved them together. Then I have one switch that's in the old part of the church, a 24-port switch that handles the learning center that's not there anymore and all the stuff on that side. Then that cable runs into, and I put little mini switches everywhere. So the trustee room has like 2 computers and the copier and stuff like that. So I put a mini 5-port switch over there instead of the router. So I have the Wi-Fi connected from that, the printer, and the office computer, so that all of those talk to each other. The choir room, I just had another mini because I bought like 4 of those, and it was like $50 for 4 of them. So I put another one in the choir room that had a computer there when the minister of music, well, the music director was there. So for the computers and stuff like that, and a Wi-Fi one. And then I put another 16-port switch in the media booth that replaced, because I had a switch and a router to give more connection. So I just put another switch there, which powers the cameras, has the access points, has all of the computers connected to it. So that's 1, 2, 3, the printer up there. That's the PoE switch for the cameras that are connected to there, and the access point inside the sanctuary. So yeah, all of this was replaced with one UDM Pro, a switch in the area of where each router used to be. That's pretty much what I did, John. So hopefully that helps you. And let's get this last. And why did I close? I closed the comments. I'm gonna take. Let me ask these real quick. You are welcome. Glad to be of help. Philip Paul, yes, you can reformat. That software is not a big deal. If you really needed it, I never use the software, but if you really need it, you can go to SanDisk and download it again. No problem with reformat it. And last one. Hey, AJ, this is Dave from Nigeria. We currently don't have a streaming PC at our church, but we use a member's PC, which is a Dell 8 gigabytes of RAM, 2 gigabyte GPU. So what would be the best settings for OBS? That is subjective. Kind of really need to know what your upload speed is. With that, also need to know your processor and the type of GPU as well, too. It's kind of can't really answer that just based off of those specs. Need a little bit more detail to be able to help with that. You can always follow that up with an email to questions@ajhomes.com, and I can get that answer back to you. So, folks, just want to say, give a big shout out to all my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. They have been supporting me so many years, and I appreciate their support. If you like what we do in here and you want to help out, because this is my ministry, if you want to help out, this is the offering collection plate, if you want to call it that, but no, I ain't even call it that. But if you like what we're doing here, you can also become a patron by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can click the join button down below here on YouTube. And what do you get? You get different bonuses, and more importantly, you get added to my giveaway. I add you in twice to all of our giveaways so that y'all have 2 chances. I also have discounts for other stuff if you get anything from my site. And again, know that every time we hit a new goal, folks, we're giving away a $2,000 live streaming bundle. We're going to keep doing that until we hit 250,000 subscribers. So every 10,000 mark that we hit, we're going to be doing a giveaway. This is my way of actually trying to help move the body of Christ forward too. I know everybody doesn't have the money to do it, but God has blessed me. When I get to this point where I hit a new level, I'm able to, take some of the funds aside and go ahead and contribute to help to other ministries. And this is just my small way of helping with the vision and the purpose of hopefully helping y'all, that when y'all have upgraded your equipment, don't sell it. Donate it to another church. Because if we're all on the same mission, why just buy it and sell it to somebody else? Give it to them, because if they help reach more people, guess what? We all win. That's what it's all about. And with that being said, if no one's ever told you, thank you for what you're doing. Something would be missing if you were not where you were at. If you weren't watching this video or any other videos, or you staying up, spending your money, learning, going to YouTube University, reading books, doing all this other stuff to figure out how to make your live stream better. If you were not doing that, your ministry would be missing something. The body of Christ would be missing something. There's a reason why you're interested in this stuff because you were called for it. And I just want to tell you thank you, because sometimes what we do is a very thankless job. And I want to take the time that I have with the platform I have to tell you, thank you for what you're doing, because I need you to do what you're doing. I know I'm not a part of your ministry. You're not a part of mine, but guess what? You are a part of the body, and so am I. And everything you do is just as beneficial as the toe needs the lungs need the heart needs the arms. We all need to work together instead of us working against each other. So this is something, a way for me to help you to empower and strengthen all of us so that we can reach more. So I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are all over the world. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Love you. And we will catch y'all on the next video, folks. Later.